Hi guys! Today we're going to talk about the feeling of emptiness, meaninglessness and existential thoughts that you might sometimes have. Let's talk about why you might feel this way. The world is chaotic. It is constantly changing. Even our bodies exemplify chaos because they want to disintegrate at any given time. So every day we're fighting to keep our bodies together by providing them with water and energy. This is what all living organisms do, fighting against chaos, fighting for stability. Chaos typically means suffering. We lose people close to us. With time, our bodies become less and less resilient. Our health deteriorates and it's becoming more and more difficult to keep the stability of our bodies. So the chaos is eating us up from the inside. And this is why we're scared of chaos. Actually, we are totally terrified of it because chaos means dying, almost literally. So it might seem pretty logical that what we need and what we crave for is the exact opposite of chaos. That is stability, the absolutes. The absolutes are perfectly stable. Beauty is an absolute. The concept of God is an absolute. Truth is an absolute. Absolutes are stable. And because religion has been the most explicit about giving us meaning, about promising us the afterlife, about giving us some rules to abide by if we want to get the afterlife. Because of that, religion has been dominating the world for many, many centuries now. The promised reward for following the rules of religion is the antidote to chaos. I'm not a religious person myself. If you ask me, I describe myself as a rational person who seeks the truth, despite the constantly nagging existential thoughts. And oh boy, they don't let go. And of course, I'm not the only person who feels this way. Religion has become less significant now, and with that, a wave of meaninglessness and depression has swept millions of people. But what I find very interesting and what prompted this reflection is that religion is not the only way to get closer to the absolutes, to be calm, to feel stable. Enter spirituality. Spirituality doesn't ask us to believe in a tale that sounds unbelievable. Spirituality doesn't go against the science or against the evidence for what is true about this world. Spirituality is about finding our place in the world of chaos. And because we're scared of chaos, our place is where the stability is. This is why we want to feel connected to the absolutes of any kind. And paradoxically, stability can be found in feeling connected to the chaos instead of going against it or dreading it. Spirituality allows us to feel connected, feel one with the nature. Even if life brings us suffering, we are able to go beyond the egocentric view of what suffering is and accept our position as a part of the nature and accept that what we're feeling is just a natural course of chaos. However, for some people, this connection must go beyond what's observable, what's real, what's been scientifically proven. People can feel spiritual by cultivating connections to various forms of energy. For example, some people might feel calmness if they connect to the cosmic energy. And so they believe that their lives and destinies are orchestrated by the movement of celestial bodies. There are endless spiritual practices that might sound a little eyebrow-raising for a typical rationalist. There is tarot reading, there are crystals, chakra, various kinds of magic. The most special kind of magic being religion, because it is conventionally accepted, and for example, you wouldn't be surprised to hear that someone is a religious scientist. One question that I have in mind that I've been trying to find an answer for is it cowardice? Is it cowardice to cultivate spirituality in this way? Is believing in the metaphysical world, is believing in magic cowardice? Cowardice in the sense that we are not able to accept the truth about this world. The truth being that the world is full of suffering and it's meaningless. Nietzsche certainly thought so. He first said, "Man seeks the truth. A world that is not self-contradictory, not deceptive, does not change. A true world, a world in which one does not suffer." And then he also said, that world is fabricated solely from psychological needs. The need to run away from the chaos and suffering. Nietzsche called this need a metaphysical need. And then he called Plato a coward, because Plato believed in the metaphysical world. Quote, "Plato is a coward before reality. Consequently, he flees into the ideal." Okay, let me say this. I love Nietzsche's thoughts. They almost completely represent my own. But I have an issue with calling someone a coward just because they don't want to accept that the world full of suffering is not the only one. I have an issue with that because I recognize, just like Nietzsche did, that this is a psychological need. But why would violating our psychological needs be courageous? Let's take a look at the different example. One of the different psychological needs we have is feeling connected to other people. If someone purposefully shuts themselves off other people and they live in isolation, violating their psychological need, would you call them brave? I'd call it a violation of psychological needs, not bravery. And if they suffer as a result of that, I'm not going to call it courage. Accordingly, I'm not going to call people who need to believe in the metaphysical world cowards. I know that it is a human thing to do that. I know that it gives a sense of wholeness and purpose. Having said that, I know that I can't do it myself. I will remain faithful to the earth, looking for the connection with the chaos, submitting to the nature of this world. That's just my preference. So, just to sum it up, the world is chaos, and chaos means suffering. We all have a psychological need to avoid suffering, so we tend to crave stability. We may achieve a feeling of calmness and stability via cultivating our spiritual lives. Spirituality may or may not be linked to a belief in God or other forms of energy. In the most secular sense, spirituality is feeling connected to the nature and the world around us. I do wonder what your thoughts are. Please let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this video on metaphysics. That's all I wanted to say. I'll see you next Thursday. Bye!